one.
Hey everybody, I'm kind of screaming because my microphone didn't quite make it in time, and my wonderful husband Scott is on the video with me, and I am live. Not only am I live, Karin Davidson here at howtotap.com, but I'm also live with at Pendle Hill, at just outside of Philadelphia. And Scott, if you'll just show everybody that beautiful thing where we're at. It's a nice little pond, and obviously we're in the rain. And so we're hoping that the internet connection still gets a hold of you and, sticks with us. And poor Scott, this is the first time he is using the iPad.
Amy and Pam are with us.
Hey, Amy and Pam. So you're going to hear Scott talk as well. I'll be yelling. Scott doesn't have to. And so he's going to try to figure out how to hold this so you guys can see me, and I'm going to still try to talk to you in my screaming voice. Actually, this is my teaching voice, so that I can, when I teach into a large theater.
Barrett.
What's happening?
Barrett Owen.
Hey, everybody. Barrett. Hi, Barrett. So we are live at Pendle Hill, and I'm going to give you a little tour. Just a little one. This is where we're having the Matrix Reimprinting Workshop that's at the end of May. I'm Karin Davidson at howtotap.com. We're live at Pendle Hill, which is where my Matrix Reimprinting next class is going to be at the end of May. And what we started to do is we were in the area of the garden, which is beautiful. And Scott, if you could just, it doesn't look really beautiful from here, but you can see where the white stuff is behind that fence.
Robert joined us, Robert Smith.
Hey, Robert. And so behind that is where the absolutely beautiful garden is that you can go on these 26 acres. Next
Jane Pullman.
At the end. Hi, Jane. So they can hear you, so you can say hi, Jane.
Okay.
So I'm going to start here, and we're just going to do a really quick tour, but I'm also going to tell you really 3 crazy things.
Oh, my sister joined us. Hey, Terry.
He's getting excited, too. And we're going to not only tell you 3 crazy stories is what's happened. Actually, Scott was there, so he knows about these 3 crazy stories that happen when we run a workshop. But also, not just the tour, not just the 3 crazy stories, but the end of this, I am going to give you an EFT trivia question, and that includes you, Robert. I'm going to give you an EFT trivia question.
Hi, Pam.
To see if you can answer. And if you can answer this, I'm going to give you a free Matrix Reimprinting demonstration video that is not public, not for sale, and all you have to do is email me at info@howtotap with the answer. There's 2 answers, and I'll tell you that at the end. So if you stick with us through the little tour and the stories, then I'll tell you how to win that at the end, and you'll just email me the answers. It's not as easy as you think. All right, so behind us, what you're seeing there, that's actually their garden here at Pendle Hill. And if you missed the first part of it, we are about 20 minutes outside of the Philadelphia airport at the suburbs of Philly, which is where I'm having the workshop. And so all the food here, most of the food here is grown here.
Hi, Phyllis.
All organic. Hey, Phyllis. All organic, all heirloom. And so I had the privilege of eating lunch here the last time I was here. It was a surprise. I just came to look at everything. And she says, hey, it's lunchtime. Wait till I tell you the kinds of things that they have for lunch here. It is stupid great, organic, and just wonderful. And so when we get sort of closer to because I'm afraid to walk away from this building, I'll tell you more about what the food is and where we're going to do that. So like I said, this was 26 acres, and that's just a part of it that you see. You can see the people back there actually working the garden, and how cool is that? So this is part of what Pendle Hill does. So my first story is about goat's milk. Yes, it's about goat's milk. And what happened? We were at a conference, and so a woman comes up to me distressed. She is obviously distressed. And by the way, I'm going to also tell you what these stories mean to your clients, so it's just not crazy workshop stories. And she comes up to me, obviously very distressed, and she's like, "This hotel." And I'm like, and now I'm scared because, I chose this hotel. And I really don't know what's wrong. And the hotel is very high-end, reasonably priced, very high-end. And now I'm scared, like, oh my God, what did they do to my student? And she says, they don't have goat's milk. Can you believe it? really? They don't have, usually in my experience, and I've traveled all over the world, teaching all over the world, honestly, I don't think I can remember one hotel that actually has goat's milk. And she goes, well, I paid $100 a night to stay here. Well, so did I. But anyway, I didn't say that. I said, did you, because it's not sort of normal, did you phone them and say, can you make sure we have goat's milk? Well, I shouldn't have to at $100 a night. So I said, well, you know, they have a free shuttle. What you can actually do is the free shuttle, you can go to the nearest goat's milk store and purchase your own goat's milk. And that way you can choose which goat's milk you want. And she says, oh, fine. And she starts to walk away. I said, 1 second. You might want to call the goat's milk store and make sure that, you know, there's some stock of goat's milk left in the store and not everybody's bought it before you get into the van and go get your goat's milk. All right, so what am I thinking in the back of my mind? That's what I'm thinking. And in the back of my mind I'm going, who? So the moral of the story is, why didn't I say you're being unreasonable? Anybody know? Scott can see that. If you know, if you have any idea of why that's why I didn't say it's unreasonable, please type it now, and I'm going to tell you if you don't. Anybody, Scott?
No.
Okay.
No one's answered yet.
Okay. So the reason is
Happy face.
happy face is good. I love those little. So the reason I didn't do it is because, first of all, if she doesn't know it's unreasonable to ask for goat's milk, she doesn't know that it's unreasonable to ask for goat's milk. So if I told her it was unreasonable to ask for goat's milk, what am I doing? I'm putting her down. I don't do that to my clients or my students. Okay? So you don't put the person down. You know, if they don't, so it's unreasonable because she thinks everybody wants goat's milk, that every hotel in the world should have goat's milk, especially ones that are $100. Which brings us to the next thing. If she thinks that $100 is expensive for a hotel, now by the way, the rooms here at the retreat are 65 shared and 85 not shared, unless you want a bathroom, and I only have 2 of those, by the way, so you have to hurry up and email me. And that's $5 extra a night. So if she doesn't know, if she thinks $100 is a lot, that means she hasn't traveled a lot. That also might mean she doesn't have a lot of money and she saved to come to my course, right? So that means if I start saying something like that, I'm putting her down for not having enough money and not traveled. Hence, you don't know that as a practitioner, okay? You don't know that. So what you have to do is just be as gentle as you can, because you don't know the answer and you don't know what's happening. So this is why I didn't say, even though I think it was a little unreasonable to think of, the hotel providing goat's milk, she doesn't have the knowledge. Which is,
Hi, Kimberly.
Hi, Kimberly. We're going to walk, Scott. So this is why I believe that, if you get upset with somebody who's prejudiced or has discrimination, before you get mad at them, perhaps you should believe or understand that it might be an education issue. That maybe they've never met a such and such person or in person, or they've never met somebody else like that, or they're uneducated about XYZ. And Scott's hitting all kinds of branches.
Oh.
That's the last one. And so, which you're now seeing, and I get a little spider. Let me just help the spider get off and stay there, not think on there. Nope, now here he is. So, I'm going to just put him back on the branch. And so, just understand that you can be an ambassador and help somebody, or you can get mad at them. I choose not to get mad at them, especially if they're my client or my student. So here we are at what's called Fairbank. And Fairbank, Scott, you can turn around and look at this. This is the back of the building, so it's not very beautiful. But I'm going to just come over here with me, and I'm going to start to yell louder. This is called the Craft Studio. It's an arts and crafts studio. We have 2 more stories going on.
Ooh, people are doing stuff here. What are they making? Look at all the tiles.
Yeah, so those are all the tiles.
Anyway.
I've warned the people that I'm coming in here, So I'm going to put my umbrella down, and we're going to come in. And I promised them I wouldn't videotape them. So this is a craft studio that's available for Kendall Hill. So when you come here and come to my workshop, you're going to be able to use this. I'm not going to show you this way because I don't want to upset people doing all kinds of cool stuff. I wish I could shut up. But the key is that if you use any items in here, they would like a donation to the building. You can find that out at the registration desk. Otherwise, this is a cool place to be in between, and part of the ambiance that you get when you're at Pendle Hill and after the workshop, which is not going to be a lot of time because you see I already talk fast, right? So you might need a break from me. This would be a really nice place to get a break from me, and so you can do this on our off time. We have an hour and a half for lunch, and we also have 2 half-hour breaks or so. So you can come in here and do whatever you want. How cool is that?
Thanks, guys.
So thank you all for putting up with my loud voice.
Oh, Helga's online.
Hey, Helga. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to just take a real quick to the free gift. If you answer my really interesting EFT trivia question. So again, this is the back end, and so remember that this is not the pretty side, but this is the side you'll probably use. So I'm going to let Scott go in, and you can look at the door while I open it. And remember, Scott, you can always turn that around and let them see you instead of me. And so we're just going to go here. This is called the library. And the library is where we're going to stay. And the cool thing is with the library, they have a Dewey Decimal System of books that you can check out while you're here, if you feel like it. And then in here is the room that we're going to... And here's the room that we're going to be... actually, the room that Scott's showing you right now is a breakout room. So this is where we'll break out for... so we have extra room in the middle so that we can use for when we do the tapping on each other. This is the room that we're going to use. Very nice and comfy, more books. And so this will be 4 days in here. If you need, the fourth day is very cool, by the way. The fourth day is all kinds of extra stuff that I have and I use in my client sessions because I tend to get people who, I'm their last hurrah. They've tried everything else and I'm the last person that they think could help. And so I have had really tough cases. So what I've done is put together all the extra tools, EFT techniques, it's plural. Not only have I put on the extra tools.
Oh, Katie Henry's on.
Oh, hi. Oh, Katie. Is Katie coming? Katie might be coming. And so, and not only are the extra tools that I use in EFT techniques, but these are also extra healing tools, extra energy tools, extra psychology tools that I have learned, either been certified in, trained in, or other things. So it's sort of an introduction to actually many of the stuff that I use. Also, we'll be learning muscle testing, which is a new one for this extra tools day. The right way, not the way that doesn't work, which the way I learned. That's a long story. We won't get into that.
Jane.
And what?
Jane.
Hey, Jane. So the thing is that so we're going to get all kinds of extra stuff that last day. That's not part of Matrix certification, so you don't have to come for that. I would just highly suggest it, and all my students go, you should require it. Well, it's not part of the requirement for certification, so all I can do is suggest it. So this is the library. I'm going to turn off the light because they would like, so you can see that. It says, please turn off the lights. In fact, right now, I want to show you something. Oh, it's not, you can't see it from here. But they have this great thing that's happening while we're walking out. They were able to get a group, because it's a nonprofit here, so they were able to get a group to, actually I might tell the next story in here so you don't have to go outside.
Oh, there's another art studio across the hall there, behind you.
Oh, and we get somebody coming out of the bathroom. No, it's the same art studio, so let's come
Oh,
out.
the other side of the art studio.
All right, let's come out here. And you can stand under the thing, Scott, and I'll
Okay.
stand in the rain, all right? And I'll tell the next story. So you just stay in there.
I'll stand here.
And poor boy standing in the rain. So the next story is, and I forget what I was just about to say on that, but I don't think it matters. All right, so my next story is, oh gosh, I paid $500. Oh, look, scroll. Show them look at the bleeding hearts.
Phyllis wants to know, will this workshop be available on video?
So while you're shooting that, no, because it is on Monday. Monday is available on video. You can get it on streaming. It's the Monday, the Fridays, the 3 days are not, because Carl Dawson does not allow you to learn Matrix Reimprinting online. You have to be in person. There's a lot of good reasons for that. We'll be here forever if I go into that and why and stuff like that, and I got more things to tell you. And I don't want this to be forever. So the answer is no to the first 3 days. The answer is yes to the last day, and I didn't hear you. There's a puddle here. He wants me to come closer to the camera.
There you go.
So I can't because I don't.
There you go. You're good.
Is this okay?
Perfect. Sorry.
All right, so he wants me to step right in a puddle, but he didn't know it was a puddle because he's looking there. There you go.
The puddle there.
All right. So yes, the third day, you go online and you can see that you can choose streaming or in person.
Helga joined us.
Hi, Helga. Helga's going to be here for the last day through video as well. So that's going to be really cool. So what happened is I had to pay $500 for some water for a student. Now, how did that happen? So Scott, my lovely husband here who's doing this, he usually stays in the back of the room. And I'm in, you're going to show the mute. There's my lovely husband, right? So I'm in.
Oh, here I am.
There. He wants
Let
to
me get my
move
good
it.
side. Forget it.
No good side? Sides are good, baby, usually.
Sorry.
So I'm in Annapolis, and I'm doing a 3-day level 3, and I'm on my, I don't know, third day or something like that. And I'm sitting in the front of the room, and my classes start at 9:30, so you have lots of time to do your stuff. And so I'm sitting up there at 9:30, ready to start. Everybody ready. I've already rung my bell, and we're going to start this course. And in comes one of the hospitality people with, you must sign this. Now, usually Scott takes care of this stuff so that I can teach, which normally, because I can't do everything at once, I try. And so Scott's not there. Kill Scott, no kidding. So I'm like, well, Scott's not here. So he walks up to me and gives me the bill. Now I'm standing again in the front of the class, and I look at the thing, and I start to sign it, and it says $500 for 1 day of hot water, for tea water. And I'm such shock, I turn to him in front of the class, and so I'm going to tell you, remember, I'm going to tell you why this is not good for your clients and students. I go, $500 for hot water? And I get it out of my mouth, and I wish I could stuff it back in. And I'll tell you why in a minute. And he said, yes, you had 10 urns of water. It's $50 an urn of water. That's $500. And I said, did anybody approve it? And he said, yes. Someone called our desk, said the water was empty, and we kept filling it. You had 10 urns of water. Scott wasn't there. So I signed the stuff, because I certainly didn't keep saying yes, or I would have not been so freaking surprised that I said it in front of everybody. And so I sign it, and he goes off. Now, my students are wonderful people. And so what they start doing is they start talking to each other about how many cups of tea did you have? How many cups of tea did you have? And they're like looking at each other, trying to help me out. And I'm like, guys, no worries. This is behind the scenes stuff. I don't care if each of you had 50 cups of tea and it's $700. Do not worry. Let's get started. Right at that time, not only does my husband walk in, but somebody who's late. And he walks in, and of course everybody's still on. Everybody turns to him and goes, how many cups of hot water did you drink yesterday? And he's like, what? And I'm like, guys. And he's like, oh, not very many. 25, 30. And I was like, well, now we found out who it was. And so I'm like, everybody else drank tea too. And so I went, it's fine, have a seat, no worries. He can have 20, 30 cups of tea if he wants, it's fine. And so he sits down. I found out later, because he came, why is somebody upset? I said, it doesn't matter. I said, what happened when the water urn ran out? Because I was able to ask Scott, and he said he didn't do it, and I didn't do it. And so he says, oh, I just called the front desk and said the water was empty. So he was the one that was filling the hot water. Now, why am I not mad at him? Why am I not putting him down for that? Why would I not tell the students that? It's because it's none of anybody's thing. They are there for an experience. They are there to learn something. They're there to have fun with each other. And if somebody wants 30 or 50 cups of tea, they have every right to. And if I don't want to give them 30 cups of tea, then I have to go, guys, you got to limit yourself to 5 cups of tea, which is just ridiculous. Or I got to do what most other people who run workshops is they only have a tea break. So they put the tea out and the coffee out in the morning, and then take it away at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, right? Which is what you have at most workshops. Well, didn't dawn on me, that somebody's going to want 30 cups of tea in one day. Didn't dawn on me. So I'm not upset at him. Live and learn, right? So hence, with your clients, you can't be telling them you're wrong and didn't you think and why didn't you and how could you, obviously, right? But sometimes you just have to go like and take a breath and learn from it, right? So I do have one more great story, and then I have the trivia question to win the 2 free videos. So Scott, we're going to go this way.
Okay, Kathy is online with us.
Kathy who?
Corbett
Hi, Kathy.
Relling.
All right.
Sorry.
Often we can't pronounce your name. We're going to walk fast over here. And then...
And we're walking, and we're walking.
And we're walking. So the next story...
Look, flowers.
Look, flowers. Cool. And we'll stop here, and we'll just stay here. And you can point that way every once in a while, some pretty trees. That's actually the building where you register when you come in. All right, and over there through those trees is where, through the little white bushes, is where, that building there is where you eat lunch and dinner and breakfast. Breakfast is included with the bed, it's a bed and breakfast, and lunch is $13 and dinner is $15. And so when I came here and I went there, the chef actually comes out at 12 noon and when lunch and dinner and breakfast open, and he tells you the menu, and your mouth waters while he's doing it, because it's all gluten free, and then what we picked from our garden, and everything's organic, and he tells you about what's in it, and by the time he tells you everything, and it's a buffet, by the time he tells you everything that's on the buffet, you're like a little stampede wanting to run in and eat the food. So it's excellent, excellent, excellent food, and again, it's buffet style, so it's a really good thing. Now there's places near enough here to drive, and it's about not even 3 minutes away, Springfield Mall, and Martindale's, which is like a Whole Foods kind of place, and then in Media, there's dinner that's really good, lots and lots of dinners. It's like my hometown kind of thing. That's where I live, and beautiful place to eat. And you can ask Scott because he knows all the best restaurants. So that's a really good thing to do.
Trader Joe's.
Oh, Trader Joe's is there too, if you know what Trader Joe's is. So, and thank you, Scott, because there's a refrigerator, not in the rooms, but on the 3rd floor of where we just came from. And so that's a community refrigerator for the people staying there, which is us. And so you can put your food in the refrigerator on the 3rd floor. By the way, if you need a ground floor, you need to tell me, because I only have one of those, and it wouldn't be in this building. So let me know if you...
Do they have elevators?
No.
Okay, FYI.
FYI, which is why you might need a ground floor. All right. So my last story, and then the trivia thing, is, am I getting any love here?
I didn't see any hearts
no
yet.
Loves?
No.
I'm not getting any, nobody's poking me with loves? Oh, I'm so upset. I love those little things. No likes, nothing.
You got some hearts and likes.
I
Come
got
on.
some hearts and likes. Thank you so much.
There's a heart.
Oh, goody. All right, so, now, this one's kind of embarrassing. Who knew when you're going to do Facebook Live that you have to be embarrassed? So I went to New York on a workshop, and it was at somebody's house, a very large house. And so, but it was in the middle of nowhere, I mean, like a suburban Westchester area. And so I really couldn't stay anywhere nearby, about 45 minutes away. And I'm in this motel, actually, and I arrive like 9 o'clock that night, if there's traffic and stuff like that, because I'm in Philadelphia, it's about 2 hours away. So I arrive about 8 o'clock at night, and I go in, and I'm unpacking the car, so you don't leave the stuff in the car. There's no projector. There's no screen. Scott told me he would put the projector and the screen. There's no projector and no screen. So,
what, me?
Right. So try not to get mad at Scott. I call him back. I'm like, kill Scott now. What, projector screen? Oh, right. Oh, right. Oh, okay. I want you to call around and see if there's any place open to either rent.
Uh-oh, we lost sound. People were saying we lost sound.
We lost sound? All right. What happened?
I don't know.
Tell.
Go ahead, start from the beginning.
It's the beginning.
Throw me under the bus one more time.
Okay. So I'm going up to New York, Westchester, New York, and it's about a 2-hour drive. So I go up there. I get there about like 8, 9 o'clock, which is really late. And I think it was just about 7. And sometimes Best Buys are open till 9. So I got, long story, that part of the story short. Scott forgot the projector and the screen that he told me he put in the car. So called him up. I said, try to find anywhere that we can rent one. Not happening. He tried. I went there. I went to the head of the motel, and because they have a meeting center, and they said no, because it's all built in. And I'm like, where am I going to get a projector and screen? Now you have to understand that I use PowerPoints. I don't read them, but they're like not only cue cards for me, but people like to see what the heck I'm talking about, because I don't talk fast or anything. And so I need to have this for my people. And now what am I going to do? So I go to the head of the desk says that they don't have anything. So I go back to the room, because it's all built into their little tiny meeting room. So I go back to my room, and there's a TV there, a flat screen TV. And I look on the back of this flat screen TV, and there's all the plugs that I need. Like, no. So I call the person's house where I'm going to go to in the morning, and I go, do you have a flat screen TV? She says yes, but it's like 15 years old. It's when they first came out. I'm like, does it have HDMI? Does it have, monitor plug? And she goes like, you're speaking Swahili? Okay, I don't, oh wait, my son just walked into the door. Give me your son, please. And so I talked to his son, and he says, no, it's so old, they had to use a special cable for our I think it was Comcast, for our cable connection. They had to bring in a special thingy, whatever the thingy was, box, so that it would work, because there is nothing to plug into. I said, you sure? He said, I'm sure. I said, do you have a computer monitor? Yeah, it's about the size, it's smaller than an iPad. Okay, 9 o'clock at night. So I go back to the desk, and I say, remember, there's a moral at the end of the story. I go back to the desk, and I go, you have a television in my room? I'd like to know if I could borrow it. Just for tomorrow, I'll bring it back, and I'm doing a workshop, yada, yada, yada. And in an hour away, by the way. And he says, it's her, she says, well, the owner's not anywhere around, and nobody can authorize that except for the owner. And I'm like, well, when is the owner going to be back? She says, Monday. I'm like, no. She says, what do you want to do? I said, I want to borrow the TV. And how long are you staying here? I said, until Monday. And she says,
Oh, nothing. Just more pictures of me. Sorry.
What did you do? That's okay. So she says, so you're going to bring it back? I said, yeah. She said, what TV? Oh, what do you mean? She says, what TV? I mean, if there's no housekeepers coming into your room and you're leaving and you're borrowing it. And I was like, oh, I get it. Shh. And so I go back to my room, and I go, oh my goodness, I got to steal their TV. What am I going to do? So I put the little housekeeping sign out the side of it, outside, so the housekeepers don't come in and see, oh, gee, a missing TV. And then I write a note just in case they come in. Anyway, I go, I just borrowed your TV. And I put it on the desk, and then I take a blanket and put it over the TV to put it in the car. One more great story. I wake up the next morning, putting in the TV, and I got mosquito bites, like in really weird places. And I don't know what's going on. And so I don't care, I don't have enough time, got to drive an hour to the house, go to the house, they don't have a cord, got to find a cord, yada yada, we find a cord, everything's great, set it up, it's a pain in the neck, got a class. Everything's wonderful. And so I go that home that night, I am not dragging that, her house is up, so a bunch of stairs, through all this stuff, I am not dragging this giant flat screen TV back into my car. So I go back to the hotel room, because I'm going to be there for 3 days, right? So I go to the hotel room, and no TV, and I get some dinner at this great place in Nyack, New York, is where I was staying, and like a Whole Foods kind of place, and I go back and I eat, and as I'm eating, I'm like, I see a mosquito on me, and I go to hit the mosquito, and he flies away, because they have that numbing stuff, you don't feel them actually bite you unless you see them. So I miss the mosquito, and I go, oh my goodness, there's a mosquito in here. I'm having mosquitoes bite me the whole time I've been here, which is why I woke up with mosquito bites. I should change rooms. Can I change rooms? I cannot change rooms. Why? Because I've stolen their TV. So now what do? I have a mosquito in the room. I open the door. You think the mosquito's going to leave when dinner's right here? I can't find him. I have to go to sleep with a mosquito. And if I have somebody who sends me emails at the bottom, they said, if you don't think one person can make a difference, sleep in a room with a mosquito. Did that. So I'm in there and I'm itching and it's awful. I pick up my pillow and my blanket. And by the way, this is when I want to kill Scott, because in my mind at this time with all this, if he had just remembered, I should have checked. Gotta blame somebody right now because I need to teach for another 2 days. And so I go into the bathroom with my pillow and my blanket and I try to sleep on the floor of the bathroom. It was very hard. I woke up in the morning so refreshed. Get back in the car, go teach another whole day, take the TV with me this time, put the TV back together, ask for a different room, take a new TV. All right, so I go to there. Now, the moral of the story is, why didn't I say anything? Wouldn't that be a funny story? No, because they're going to feel sorry for me. They're going to feel bad for me. They're going to want to do something about it. They're not going to be listening to Matrix Reimprinting or to think about the great things that are happening to them personally. Going through, the breakout sessions and all this great stuff, not to mention being able to learn how to do Matrix Reimprinting. And I did the fourth day there too with this special class, with the advanced tools. And so I cannot tell them. Moral of that story is sometimes, even if you know the answer, and sometimes even if you have your own story, you don't tell the client. You don't share what you're going through. You don't share what you're going through with your client. The only time you do, right? Because they're paying you to help them, to go through them. And you shouldn't even be thinking about your own stuff unless they're not quite getting it, and I'm almost done, they're not quite getting it, and then we'll go to the trivia question with the prizes. Then you can say the part of your story that relates specifically to their story with a point that I went through that myself when I was 20. Now, my experience is different than yours, but at least I went through it and I understand what you're going through. And you can say that creates rapport, and that makes you understand. So then you can tell them a past history story as long as it's directly related to them. I have some horror stories, which I won't go into, with other practitioners whose clients actually didn't give up and came to me.
People are saying this is so right and it's great advice.
Oh, okay. And you don't know that because hang in there, internet. Okay, hang in there, people. So yeah, you don't want to share your stories. And sometimes you get hijacked because, I'm going through that myself because the universe has a sense of humor, and usually you get clients who are going through exactly what you're going because you're vibrating at the same thing. So everybody's you're bringing the same clients you're going through. You do not share that. What you share is things that happened to you in the past and you got through to make them feel, to have rapport. All right, trivia question. Everybody write this down because you are not going to know this. And you're going to send the answer to info@howtotap, and I know that you're going to search the internet trying to find the answer to this question.
Oh, someone called me out.
What?
Scott's fingers covering the mic. It's all me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think Kathy knows a little bit more about this than I do.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah, you didn't put the projector in the car, did you?
Where's the microphone at?
He's now scared.
I don't know. Where's it at?
We'll find it later, sweetie.
Okay.
We're almost done.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I have fat fingers.
You didn't put the projector in the car, and you covered the mic.
Okay. Trivia question.
Okay. Bless your heart. I love them to death. But we all have boo-boos, right? So live and learn. That's what I say. Okay, ready? Info@howtotap is where you send this answer. I don't care how many of you send me the answer. I'm going to send you all this. There's 2 prizes. One is you give me the answer to the first one, and the 2 is you give me the answer to the second one. The first one is, here's the basis. Gary Craig invented EFT? No. There was somebody that invented EFT before Gary.
Hi, Erin. It's your niece.
Oh, Erin, hi. So those are on the hallway. So only 2 rooms left to be able to have a bathroom in it, and they're shared. So email me at info.howtotap. You can register at howtotap.com/workshops. Pick the workshop that you want, how many days, and then email me at info.howtotap on how many lunches and dinners and the rooms that you want. Okay. I hope you enjoyed the stories. I hope you learned from them, and much love as always. And this time I'm leaving.
Phyllis says thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Phyllis.
All right. Am I going to finish with my big fingers?
Yeah. You take your big fingers and push.
Wait a minute.
What? You're ready first.
Thank you. Oh, there.
Okay. You just push this button.
Finish.